Fuck it. Here we are. This is it. Pencils down.
Pencils down.
That's our new thing.
That's our new intro phrase, right?
Yeah, pencils down.
It's catching on. It's like wildfire, right?
I think it'll be on T-shirts.
It's everywhere.
Couldn't you say
Party.
What? That's an extra voice. That's somebody new.
There's someone in the room with us?
This is a very special supplementary ramble. I'm Jerry Rocha.
Hey, Eddie Pence.
And with us, the one and
Very
only
special
Sean
guest.
Krankel. Hi, Sean.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Sean, who is the master, you're the owner of Night School Games, right? Is that it?
One of a few. Yeah,
It's
you could cut the master
the buck
part.
stops here.
No.
I take all
He
the
is
credit.
Lord.
You're master. Cut the
he
promo
is
now.
Lord everything. This is of Night School Games, a very special guest. We met at a party at Joey Diaz's house. That's where we met.
That's
because
right.
You met Joey because his daughter and your daughter are buddies.
Our kids were doing karate together when they were 4 years old.
Yeah.
I cut a little movie together with Biggie Smalls over it, and what song was it? It wasn't Who Shot You. There was something.
Right.
And then I showed it to him, and we talked about it, and then we've been friends for 4 years.
He's a
ever
man.
since.
And then
Yeah,
so there
great.
I was. I meet Sean right after my mom died. It was like the week.
That was
after.
brutal.
That really
Yeah,
wasn't
I was just
long
crying.
ago. Less than a year ago, right?
I was just crying in the living room the whole
And
time.
my dad had died literally like 2 months before that, and my mom had died like 3 months before that.
Look at that.
Guys.
Pencils down.
Call your parents
Stop.
after
Parents
this
down.
podcast.
I'm going
Eddie.
to right
Parents
now.
down.
Parents down.
Parents down. Pencils down. This is it.
If anything happens in the next 24 hours, I'm blaming both of you.
both of you for if the Pences are
Not fucking cool.
Hey, it's life. Maybe Andrea's dead. She was sitting there a second ago. Now she
where is
left.
she?
I don't know where she is.
Oh,
now.
one of the cats.
Hut,
One of the
you can
cats is
come
eating
over.
her.
You
That
can
cat's
be
eating
here.
her. That cat is eating her.
This So Sean, so let's just first we'll start with the real deal tease. Afterparty, your brand new game drops in a week and a half?
Week and a half, October 29th. Yeah,
Oh
right
my
before
God.
Halloween.
Right before Halloween.
Damn.
Pretty hype. But it's
This
been
is-
2.5 years leading up to this, so it's been fucking bananas. But
And
I'm very excited.
You put 2.5 years of your life into this game.
As did a lot of other people.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
What's
Yeah,
funny is
Wow.
when I
It took
met
a while.
Sean, right before 2 weeks before I'd met him, right before I had to go back to Texas
Yeah,
because of mom and all that.
yeah.
I
This was like last February, right?
I was on
That's
the
right.
Switch, marketplace, right? The Switch game store.
Yeah.
And I see this game, and I'm like, oh, this looks fucking cool. And it was called Oxenfree. And I buy it, and I just kind of started playing it. And then, of course, I get the, whatever. And so, and I found out that was Sean's game. I'm like, that's you.
He's not lying. That was pretty crazy.
It was crazy.
That was perfect.
I was like,
we talked
what?
the whole party. We were kind of just nerding out in the corner. We were talking about the analog
Games.
console. We were talking about games in general.
Because Sean
right?
was a little nervous. Not nervous. You were skeptical. Because I was like, I'm a gamer.
Right.
And he was like, this motherfucker plays Call
Show
of
me your
Duty
card.
and Madden, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right,
he
right.
plays Call of
He's a-
Duty and
a
Madden.
poser gamer?
Yeah, he says he's a gamer. And then I started telling him about that thing Andre got me for Christmas that
Yeah.
plays all the Super Nintendo games. And then Sean was like, oh, this is it. All right, I can
He
talk
went
this language.
way harder than me. I was like, wait, what? You have Parodius? I remember some games we were talking about. I was like, God damn,
yep.
you got a lot of crazy games.
It was awesome. And so
But yeah, so Oxenfree, at the end of that night as we were parting ways.
I was like, what? You
Yeah.
made that game that I've just started playing? So I finished. Oxenfree is really, really good. I would say, I think Colton is a 10-year-old could play that, right? Is it or no? Would you say no? Would you recommend
so
not?
we got it through the ESRB as a T for teen.
Right.
It probably could. It has a couple of things that are questionable. There's like some magic brownies that we don't acknowledge what's in them.
Right.
And we just call them magical. And I think there's a few more things. There's like somebody jumps out a window and that scene. That's gnarly.
I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? So it is. Look, can we talk about Oxenfree quick? But
Yeah,
then we're
let's
gonna
do
we're
it.
gonna
Let's
go
do
into
it.
Afterparty. We're gonna definitely. So, but Oxenfree, it's all very text, dialogue, and choice based.
Yeah.
You don't have to press Y at the right time to jump across a building. You know what I mean? It's just a game that is all story, and it's done so well. You were wrapped up in this shit immediately. These kids go to this haunted island, they think, right? And they're all alone, and then some crazy shit starts happening. They start getting radio transmissions from like the 40s. Like, it's fucking
wow.
bonkers.
It gets
And
super
then
weird.
then
Yeah.
it gets alien-y.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. And
yeah, I mean, like when we started it, we just thought, and this is not the sexiest sounding thing, but we were like, how do we make a game that doesn't have cutscenes? So like, how do you do story without going, all right, you play the game stuff and then you go
And then
do
you
the
have the scene.
cutscene, and then
Right,
you
right,
did
right,
it. We were like,
right.
how do we just make the story the game? How do you make that the toy? And so we were like, well, communication needs to be very fluid, and like your player character needs to either talk when you tell her to talk or not talk, right? So we had to design the game and write it in a way that like you could play it as a mute, and you have to have all these characters respond to you like, you're being pretty fucking weird right now, and they need to acknowledge that. And the conversations, just spiral out of control to the point that the script's like 1,800 pages long of just spaghetti. Yeah, but the game really, we just leaned into that idea of like movement, communication, making your way through the world in a way that feels very relatable was what we wanted to do. And then we make the shit hit the fan when 30 minutes in,
and boy, does it hit the fan.
It super hits the fan.
When it hits the fan, it's like, what the fuck just happened? And your choices determine who lives and who dies. Yeah, I don't want to, in case people have, it's been out for years, but just, I'll try to be as spoiler-ishy. But and you told me this.
Which one did I tell you?
There's actually a character who's dead when the game starts.
Yeah.
That if you can do it all right, you can bring them back from the dead. There's some time travel that gets in. It is like, and I'm like, wait, you can do what?
Yeah,
so I was like, fuck. So I gotta go back again, and I want to see if I can save that dude.
That's a lot of people like they talk about well, there's branching games and there's games that have multiple endings, but we wanted to do something that felt more like modular in terms of how it pieces together. So it's not like you go through and then there's 3 endings. There's like 40 ways that it can all piece together. And so like that character you're talking about is somebody that when the game starts, the whole game is sort of about
they're
mourning that character,
yes.
right? And then there's a very sad, weird twist that you can make that allows you to change the past.
And here's what I liked about what you told me about that was, again, going to how you said we want the story to be the toy. You can choose to do this. But it then kind of, even though that other character lives, it kind of becomes a downer ending for that person. So you can save this person,
but you're fucking somebody else over.
But you kind of fuck someone else's life over by doing it's great. That's what I loved about it. I love that there was never just one ending where all the Ewoks come out and sing. You know what I mean?
Right. We did it.
Yeah,
like that with all these games, it's always about like making you kind of feel like a dick all the time.
Right.
Like your choices have to be tough.
Well,
Otherwise, you're like
every
left
choice
or
has
right.
a consequence.
Exactly. Yeah.
When
it affects somebody somehow.
Right.
Some way.
When I first played it, I was getting anxiety at like making sure I hit an answer quick enough. Because when someone asks you a question, then all of a sudden you have 3 different answers to choose from. And some games like Mass Effect, you could just wait all day.
They just idle there.
Yeah, just idle.
Right.
And this is like, there's a timer like, mother, you got 3 seconds. Oh, shit, I guess I'll say this. Dude, it was fucking, oh man, I was so immersed and in love with that game.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, and fucking creepy. There's some parts in it that are legit. And what I love about it is it's not like jump scare creepy. It's not like the dog going through the window in Resident Evil.
Right.
Like this is just like, oh, that's like, that was creepy. Like if I were alone on an island and that happened, I would just set myself on fire.
What gave you
That's an option.
What gave you the idea for that story?
So
how did that come
this
together?
was around 2014. My cousin, who is my co-founder of the studio,
But you're the boss.
But I'm
You're the master.
You said master, right? Let's go with the master.
You're the master.
We were sort of just like really inspired by all the same shit that I know you guys are too. A lot of the Spielberg stuff, that sort of era, the 80s, like nostalgia
Basically
factor.
What Stranger Things is doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this was pre-Stranger Things, so we were sort of at a point where we're like, how do you do a coming-of-age story
So you're
that
saying
you
they ripped you
determine?
off. That's
Absolutely,
what you're saying
absolutely.
right
They owe this motherfucker some money.
Yeah. So we were like, coming-of-age story where you can determine your protagonist coming of age. But we didn't have any of the ghostly stuff for a while. Originally, it actually was more just like
puberty.
Let's do Stand By Me.
Just a kid grows
It was
hair
literally
on
just like
his dick,
just
and he's like, what?
a lot of mini games.
So you storyboard it out like on a wall or whatever.
Yeah,
You just write
yeah.
it out like you would write out any story.
Yeah,
When you're coming
sort
up
of.
with a
So
story for a
it's a
video game.
mix of like you do all the same stuff with note cards and sort of mapping all that out. However, you also want to go not just where do you want the story to go, but what do you want the experience of the player to be. So like the radio that you were talking about, you sort of level up this ability to use this radio and tune into things on the island and
Right.
communicate with these ghosts. So you have to map out like what is the right experience for that moment, and the script sort of has to match with that. And so you're kind of grabbing from the story and grabbing from the game's design back and forth, and they talk to each other. So in the beginning, it was just like, let's just do the fucking walk and talk game, and we didn't even know. We were just like, as a mechanic and as 5 people making a game.
Right.
We thought we could make a game where you can walk around and talk. And they were like, well, let's not do a boring thing.
Right.
So
Like
then
get boring quickly.
Exactly.
Right.
So then we're like, well, what type of story is conducive to that? We're like, well, we don't want to have a giant cast. We don't want to have all these other crazy things. So let's be in a somewhat desolate location. We're like, okay, let's go off on an island. And then that inspires other elements. And then this is actually, I think you guys will appreciate this. About 7-8 years ago, it was the Goonies 25-year anniversary, right? They do this thing up in Astoria. They had, Corey Feldman's there signing boobs, like all this weird shit's going on.
Did he sing Ascension Millennium for everyone?
No. This is pre that.
Fuck!
He had a band called The Truth Movement, and they performed in a cattle, I don't even know, like in a cattle hall. And anyway, so it was this weird, like Pink Floyd-esque psych band. So we're up there. I'm going on this little hike. I look off in the woods, and there is a decommissioned little like radar station. And I was like, what would this be from? And I did a little bit of Wikipedia research, and I was like, oh, weird. Japanese subs were right up on the coast all the time.
Well, the entire West Coast has artillery bunkers
all over,
shit,
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And so there was one fired a rocket that went into a Little League baseball field and blew up part of it, and nobody really talks about any of that shit.
Fuck?
I was like, this is kind of crazy
The whole
shit.
Battle of L.A. no one fucking talks about.
At all.
Battle of L.A.
You
never
know
heard
the
of
Battle of L.A.
The Rage Against the Machine record?
Yes.
You never heard of Battle of L.A.?
No, stop
When
this.
we launched air fire into the sky above Los Angeles during
This is World War II?
Yes. Look.
I thought he was shitting us too. I was just rolling with
Wait,
it.
this is real?
Start over. Let's go there.
There was
What
an
is that?
unidentified flying object above L.A. during World War II.
Wow.
And artillery fire. We shot artillery fire at it.
It was probably just Howard Hughes flying around like a dick.
There's a whole thing saying there's a whole UFO conspiracy about it. But there's also the element of we think it was probably the Japanese.
Wow.
Right.
It was during World War II. Yep, Google Battle
That's
of L.A.
our-
Man,
It was
I gotta do this.
That stupid movie they made, Battle of L.A., about the
remember
aliens
that.
attacking.
Yes.
It was sort of
Loosely based on that.
Really?
yeah. That
Man.
wasn't.
I didn't know
How
that.
little do I
Battle
know?
of LA?
Ed? I don't know.
There's
Eddie.
a famous shot when there's a
I
bunch of
had no
floodlights
idea,
above
man.
L.A.
Andre, have you heard of the Battle of L.A.?
See, there's a famous shot of all these floodlights in Hollywood, all
Wow.
in one spot up in the sky, and there's artillery fire.
Are you Googling it?
You have the computer in front of you.
But I'm a man.
Oh, that's true.
Come on.
in here
Google
and
that
Google it.
shit.
Come in here and Google it, darling, before I give you what for. All right, Sean, you don't need to know about how I
I'm
discipline.
covering my eyes.
Hey, you Google it, that's it.
You Google it now.
You best
She
be
really is
lucky.
Googling it. This
it.
got so
You
weird.
best be lucky you're in the room when men are speaking in the first place, darling. All right.
Next video game, make it about the Battle of L.A.
Yeah, dude.
I had no idea this was a thing.
We're
Here we go.
Okay.
And those are the shots.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's the Hollywood Hills right there.
I've never even seen that.
Wow. Look at that.
Look at all the
pretty
air
crazy.
fire, the explosions.
Holy shit.
That's the artillery.
So,
Wow.
so
So it was
you-
inspired by real stuff.
by real, and then because the ghost element of Oxenfree is what beyond hooked me. Like I already love
Right,
the characters when they're on the ferry because it was so well
Just
written.
get right- yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm right. Whatever happens, I'm rooting for these people. But what was interesting is the image of the game looks like a person is being like taken by something, and this girl's like floating half in the air, and so I start playing. I'm like, when the fuck is this? What? And then when all that
You
shit,
see
you're
what
like, what? And when you first see that triangle thing, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It was. But I wanted to tell you real quick one more thing about Oxenfree that I absolutely loved in an odd way. But I was talking to a buddy of mine about this. Is like I was playing Soul Blazer when you first came over, right? And Illusion of Gaia and like ActRaiser. Although there a lot of those Super Nintendo RPGs are all sad as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of them back then, that there was that weird like 91 to 96. We're just like a lot of those stories are just everything just has this little cloud of
Hyper
sad.
emo, yeah.
There's a little bit of sad over it, and that's what I loved about Oxenfree was that it was never like just this happy-go-lucky. Like it was like, man, everything you do is like there's this one moment where you're looking for a character. She went missing, and you can decide. What's great is two people go missing, right? And or a couple of them. And you pick who you're going to go try to find first. And I picked this girl. I was like, well, let's go try to find her.
Ah, interesting. Because she's an asshole.
That's
and
why.
by that point
why.
in time, it's either your best friend who
Yes.
might have eaten those brownies and might be freaking out on the other side of the island
Yes.
after everybody's been spread apart, or it's Clarissa, who's sort of a monster, total frenemy. You don't really know yet why she's being so awful to you, but she is being awful.
That's why I went for it. Because I was like, why is she being so
And there's a
mean
good
to
reason.
this girl? And there's a great reason. And when you find out, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But there's this scene where you track her to this building, and then there's just this quick flash where you just see her commit suicide. She just jumps off, and you're like, what the fuck? And then she's gone. And you're like, did that happen? What the? It's fucking amazing. It was like,
It gets pretty surreal.
That game gets trippy as fuck,
Wow.
Oxenfree.
Yeah, like first it was like, let's make Stand By Me, but then we were like, well, that could be boring too if they're just
Right.
walking around and talking all the time about typical teen shit.
yeah.
And
Could Mighty
so
Mouse beat
then-
Superman? Kinda, yeah,
right.
yeah.
Which we have our fair share of all that
Yeah.
stuff in the game, and we kind of intentionally open the game in a way that is sort of mundane, and it is sort of like, do I take the cigarette in front of the person I'm trying to impress, and all these
Right.
basic
Yeah.
teenage things,
Pick
right?
up rocks, throw it in the ocean.
Exactly.
Is that-
You're
yeah,
skipping
yeah.
rocks, there's all that stuff.
Does
But
that
then
stuff affect the story at all?
it all
or
does.
Is it
Yeah,
just
no, it
all
actually
does.
does.
Dude,
Even that
it's
cigarette
not
thing I just
superfluous.
said. No, it actually
it really
all
does.
That's
Yeah.
another impressive thing. There is
Wow.
nothing in it that's fluff or pointless. Everything in it.
Every decision you make.
Every decision you make. Do I wipe my ass one extra time? All that fucking.
that's always a good idea.
That's always a good idea.
There's never too many times.
There's never too many times to wipe.
That,
But yeah, most games that have branching, they kind of go apart and then they come back to a choke point. They go apart, they come back to a choke point. This certainly has its fair share of that, but we branch out a lot more than most of those games.
Right.
And we do it in ways that we don't want to feel super random, right? Like there has
Right.
to be authorship and a director
Yeah.
and like tell a great story. So that was the crazy
Yeah, you
tough
don't feel
part.
like you're just wandering around doing. Like,
Yeah.
What am I doing? What's the point of this?
What was the point? Right. But we put all this other kind of mind fuckery in there because we were also just trying to borrow from stuff that you've seen a lot in movies and books, but not in games that much. And like the supernatural thriller kind of genre is something that's not really done in games that much, but we've seen it a ton in movies. And so like looking at Poltergeist is really where we borrowed a lot of that feeling from. Like the feeling when you see the little girl be dragged across the kitchen floor is like what we wanted in that game. Much more than
and
like
there's
jump
a
scares
lot of
and all
those,
that shit.
dude.
Yeah, just a lot of weird, freaky shit.
And so yeah, I'm playing like I'm really into this. It's one of those games where Oxenfree, it just stays with you after you play it.
Yeah, yeah.
So much so that I'm obsessed now, just trying to wrap my head around how you can save the person that you might be able. I'm like, what the? It's amazing. It's now you also when we first met. We hung out after that thing. We had dinner, and you were telling me that we joked about Stranger Things, but in a way, Stranger Things kind of helped.
it totally helped us.
So
Yeah.
to tell that story, because I think that's such an amazing story about what happened after launch and Stranger Things with Oxenfree.
Yeah. So we came out early 2016, and then it was kind of crazy because we launched Xbox and PC beginning of 2016,
Right.
and then PS4 was a few months later.
Right.
And between those launches, we did this whole crazy ARG. Did I tell you about that?
No.
And then that led into So you guys know what an ARG is? Alternate reality game. I'm pushing my glasses up.
Andrea needs to run in because every time I say shit like this, she runs in and goes, "Nerd
You
alert!"
fucking nerd.
Yeah. I do.
You've heard this term.
That's happened with. I'm trying to wrap my head
Halo
around
did
it.
the bees
Halo
thing.
did it with the bees.
Yeah,
There's.
yeah.
It's like it's almost like this weird scavenger hunt they send. Right. Like
It's basically you just treat it's like a game that people play along with, but the game
Right.
doesn't acknowledge that it's fake. So they did it for the Dark Knight. Do you guys remember when they did that shit?
Yes.
Oh, it's so good for that.
Yes.
Yeah. Where they were like they would send out birthday cakes to comic book stores and they'd be like, what the fuck is this? And they'd take the
Right.
birthday cake, they'd bring it inside, then the cake would start ringing. Then you'd start digging through the cake, and
Right.
then River Phoenix is on not River Phoenix, he was already dead. I'm
Heath
talking
Ledger, the other
about
dead
Heath Ledger. Thank you.
you.
Heath
Todd
Ledger literally is. It was
Dana Plato. Dana Plato comes
The
out.
whole cast from Three's
all the
breaks in
different
through the
strokes.
air vent.
strokes.
So yeah, it's like
Time
you know,
out. Better
the
movie
Joker on
if
that.
if Dana Plato was a Joker, right? And
Oh,
Dark
absolutely.
Knight, way
Clearly.
better movie.
Better.
Clearly.
Joker's a better movie.
Joker's a better movie.
I
than
still
Dana
didn't
Plato.
see it.
Don't
Don't
need.
bother.
Don't
Don't
bother.
see it.
Don't
Wow.
Well, we like to make fun of Batman anyway.
Right. Just the whole
Batman
as a
in
character.
general.
The idea
'cause-
of the character is
because
just
the Batman
ridiculous.
fans are like the Trump fans of comic books. Like, he could do anything if you give him time. He's the greatest. That's what they do.
They're very easy to trigger.
If you give
Very
them
easy to
time.
trigger. Whereas I don't give a
We
fuck.
discovered Batman fans and In-N-Out fans are the most
In-N-Out Burger and
triggered,
Batman.
easily triggered fans of.
Whoa.
See,
Yeah,
Whoa.
see, look,
See?
look what happens.
Whoa.
And then what we've surmised
Like, what
is
happens?
like you could give Batman 10 years to prepare for a steel cage match against the Undertaker. What
Undertaker
happens?
just squash.
It's
30
over.
seconds.
10 seconds.
Fair.
He's dead.
That's
What's
fair.
he gonna
That's
do?
fair. That's
What's he
fair.
gonna do?
That's fair.
Get the fuck
Take
out
her
of
Hell
here.
in a Cell. You're not coming
Take her
close.
Hell in a Cell. Batman's buried. Get the fuck out.
Buried.
Of here. Anyway, but
So we did this ARG, and we essentially first we put in the game. If you open up the game and ripped open all the code in Steam, we had what a spectrogram is. This is getting so fucking nerdy. So a spectrogram is if you take an audio file and you look at the visual of it, and it actually is like a piece of art. And so people were taking music from our game, and you could look at it via this thing, and you'd be like, oh God, here's information. And then they plugged that in, and there was a Google phone number. And then you called that, and there was a message from Alex in the game calling, saying, don't come to the island. And it is the Alex from our game saying, like, you don't want to do that, right?
Great.
And then that kept going. And so the guy who was our composer, Andy, who he goes by Scientific because it sounds cooler than Andy, he also is doing the Afterparty
I would
score.
go Scientific.
Yeah, go Scientific. Hi, Andy.
Scientific is a
Andy.
better name than most names.
I just don't think I can
That's
introduce
true.
myself that way. That would be the
Scientific
problem.
Pens.
Scientific. Nice to meet you.
Scientific.
Huh? So
Technical.
he lives in the Pacific Northwest.
Technical,
He goes
yeah. Nice to meet you.
technical. Remove all the vowels.
Oh fuck.
Technical.
So
I'm a
he-
historian. Hi guys, I'm a historian.
So he created in a crazy old artillery box a music box from the game with the
Amazing.
score on it, buried it out in this island, and we had people come fly from all around the
Geomap
world
it,
to
try to
dig
find
this thing up and find it. And then they made their own documentary about about going on this journey together and becoming
Amazing.
buddies. And then it was just an ad for the PS4 game. No, it
It just said drink more Ovaltine.
Drink
That's
more
all it said.
Ovaltine.
Drink more Ovaltine.
Drink
Like,
more
what
Ovaltine.
the fuck?
So anyways, PS4 version comes out. Now we got like
Yeah.
between across the board, the first 4 months, I look back with rose-colored glasses, but in the beginning the game was, kind of going up and down. We didn't know if it was going to take off. We didn't know if the studio would be around.
How
It was pretty
scary is
scary.
that?
Terrifying, because we had enough money only to get the game out. Like we basically had enough money to get through 18 months period and to market it. And then that
jeez,
was
man.
it. And it was like, I
Wow.
went out, raised some money with a few people that
Yeah.
I knew from prior stuff, trusted me to go like hire 5 people, basically.
Right.
Go make this thing. Do what you can in this period
Yeah,
of
that's
time.
like such sink or swim.
It was
Like,
crazy,
so
yeah.
crazy.
I mean, I still, the people that do it out of the garage are like going more hardcore than that.
Stardew Valley
But,
guy.
yeah,
Just 6
yeah.
years on this computer. Yeah.
But I was, in my 30s with a 2-year-old, so I'm not going to go like bootstrap the whole thing. So, long story
Yeah.
short, game comes out, kind of goes slow, the reviews are good, but it's not selling that well. Then it takes off over the next 4 or 5 months, and then
what triggered it to take off? Do you know?
So a few things. One, it was just word of mouth, and
Yeah.
I think that was a thing that early on we didn't do. We were very precious about the story because it is so like cryptic. The stuff
Right.
that you're talking about, we were very.
You don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, but then it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Let
give it
people
away.
play
Yeah.
it, streamers, whatever. Like, because people
Yeah.
want to experience it for themselves. You
Do
know?
video games when they come out, do they have to hit right away? Is it, or can it sit there for a
No,
couple
right.
months and all of a sudden, like, is it dead
That's
in the
a good
water after
question.
a couple
Yeah,
months?
can
That's
they-
a very good question. So, depending
Because everything
on the
else,
studio,
if everything
right?
of it comes out, if no one likes it, like that's the bomb. No one
Right.
likes it.
Yeah,
and
it's
they
all
walk
about
away.
opening weekend, and
TV,
that's it.
film,
Yeah.
everything else. But
So usually with games, there's a hint of that, and certainly with games that are the big AAA ones, that's it. Like if a big AAA game drops, and it's certainly if it's like a sequel and it doesn't do well,
It's
it's just
dead.
not going to do well, right?
And then they bury the franchise.
you're
right?
not going to come
Usually.
back
That's
to
it.
it.
Nine
Yeah.
times out of 10, like, well, we're never making this shit again. Like
Right.
we're done with this. Yeah.
But for us, like we intentionally are trying to do stuff that isn't tethered to other licenses and stuff that hopefully feels pretty evergreen. And so, like with Oxenfree, we were very intentional to make it feel like it could come out kind of whenever. Like
Yeah.
when we put it out, all that pixel art stuff was huge. Like,
Yeah.
and it's still cool now, and we like that stuff. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
circa 2016, you couldn't
Yeah.
throw a rock without hitting another
Yeah.
pixel art game.
Right.
So we dodged that, and we went, all right, we're going to make it look more painterly, and we kind of changed that. And so ultimately, what we did was we also changed how we messaged it because we didn't know how to really communicate to people what it was. We were like, do we go in on the teen drama stuff?
Right.
Do we go in on the horror element? Do we go
Right.
in on
What
the
do you
mindfuckery?
what do you
Like,
want to be known as?
yeah, what do you like lead with? And what are people going to going to respond to?
Yeah.
Like, are they going to love the world? Are they going to love being afraid? Are they going to love just our character? And so we kind of tweaked that over time and did lean into the mindfuckery. And on that game, that's what got people in the door. And then the characters and all the other stuff that people fall in love with.
So how long did it take before it really started to like
months, like 6 months, which is terrifying.
That's
then
terrifying.
you're
'Cause
second
you think it's a
guessing
bomb
yourself
the whole
time. Right. You're like, was the dialogue system stupid? Was this fucking stupid? Or like, is this game boring or this or that? Like the reviews are good. I don't know. What do we do? And you're constantly questioning, like, what do we do?
That's horrifying.
And then a year in, you're like, oh, we know what worked. We're going to keep building on that, and we're going to tweak other stuff. And so, it also helped that later that year, Stranger Things comes out.
Yeah.
It's scratching a lot of the same itches, and all these articles started coming out that was like, if you like this, if you like Stranger Things, go play this game. And we're like, oh, thank you.
How amazing was that?
Yeah,
How
like,
amazing
that
was that?
helped out a lot.
That's
And it
incredible.
became, we were like the video game shorthand for that because we were just all hitting, it's not an 80s thing, but it's certainly hitting all the rest of it. The like coming of age,
it's modern times.
Goonies
but
revivalist
yes,
thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It is like
Wow.
if the Goonies happened now, but was just a little more mature and a little sad.
and a little more
Right.
mysticism, right? Like a
Yeah.
little more like
Yeah.
More freaky.
yeah.
And-
Freakadelics.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
no Ascension Millennium, which I think is a bad move. on your
Well,
part to not
it's
have-
still out there. It's still out there. We have what is it? We have the publishing rights, but not the sync rights to Ascension Millennium.
So how long?
I just want to jump in and say I've listened to that album recently. It's a double album.
Does it
Did
hold
you
up?
know
Is it a
that?
double album?
Does
Does
it
it hold
hold up?
Does it hold up?
To what?
Does it hold up over time?
Does it
Is
hold
Ascension
up?
Millennium still
It's
do
to a
what it did
first
to you when it
listen.
first came out?
There's a song with Fred Durst on it.
Why?
You
Of course
guys
there
need-
is.
Of course there is.
Of course
Why?
there
to
is.
listen to this album.
Jesus
Anyways,
Christ.
double album.
Look, I feel bad. Look, let's give Corey Feldman a little credit.
I love Corey Feldman.
Everything he survived tonight. All of his friends are dead. You know what I mean? He was the only one who survived getting raped by Charlie Sheen. You know, like if that's who I think it was, right? Know what they said?
Is that who it was?
I don't know, but if somebody major got both of them. So I mean,
saw it on Twitter.
Someone
Was it
huge-
Michael?
No, I think someone like someone big got both Corys, and I forgot who it was.
I don't think that it ever came out.
I don't think they ever.
And
but
I think
the rumor
he
was it
says
was
Michael
Charlie
never
Sheen.
even looked at him the wrong way.
Yeah, I know. He said Michael never looked
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah, like it was.
I think
and
it's
I think it was.
somebody
I think
else.
they said it, someone said it was. They speculated it was Charlie Sheen. Like
Crazy.
I have
But
no,
how? They're not that far apart in age.
that's why I don't think it could have been Charlie. I don't know, but
what was the movie with Lucas? No, he's not in Lucas.
that's Corey Haim.
That's Corey Haim's in
Haim.
Lucas.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't that guy like your Babe Ruth of child molesters? If he got both Corys, like that guy is instant first ballot.
No, first ballot.
Creepo Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Right? Like that guy's in. Like that. that guy,
Which Corey hat do you wear into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, which Corey hat does he wear?
What the fuck are we talking about?
Hamer Feldman.
Oh
so Ascension Millennium.
my god!
What?
Stop it. We can't go.
No,
We can't go down this
went
road.
Down the road.
Oh man.
Because we have a segment on our show.
Oh
You
man.
know when they go in the Baseball Hall of Fame to play, they pick
Yes,
what hat from what
yes,
team.
yes.
So we'll do stupid things like Miyamoto goes into the Video Game Hall of Fame. Is Mario on his hat? Is Zelda?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
okay,
So
okay.
now, if that child
This is your
molester
bit.
goes in, what Corey is on his hat?
I'm leaving the room.
Hey, everybody, Sean's new game. It's coming out.
We found the line and we crossed it.
Sean is willing to bet. I will. By the end of the episode, he'll tell us what hat he thinks the guy should wear.
Emilio Estevez did
Emilio-
it.
Whoa! Shots fired.
So how do we go down this road?
I don't
What were
know.
we
Wait,
talking
this
about?
happens every ramble.
Every
Fair enough,
ramble,
fair
this
enough.
road will go. It'll,
name is
something
apt.
awful will happen.
This happens
Yes.
every fucking ramble.
Yeah, so
the whole
so
point of
then
the show.
So then everyone's saying, if you like Stranger Things, play this.
Right.
And then what is then? Are you like? Is it?
Well, it's not like it was like a light switch, and they were like, "Oh, there's money pouring on us."
Right,
It was
that's
still
what I'm
just
wondering. Is it like
no.
this-
It was another like step. You know, everything
Right,
over the
right.
course of 2016 into 2017.
When
was
did you
sort of
start the new
growth.
game? Did you have
So,
plans for it
funny enough,
during while you're making the other one, or did you wait to see that this one sort of got to a place you wanted, and they're like, okay, we got to do something else?
we finished that game and were up until that game came out, it was just the game and the studio were synonymous, where it was just like, if there is no Oxenfree, there is no Night School, so
Right.
we are not a studio. We're
Right,
just a bunch of
right,
people
right.
getting a game out, you know, and that was it. And so we kind of weren't thinking about it then. We were like, we didn't even know what the brand means. Like, we knew we wanted to tell stories. We knew that we wanted mechanics to be at the center of those stories.
Right.
We knew that we wanted like humor and wonder and all these other things, but we didn't know what the fuck we were going to do next. So for a while, it was pretty scary because we started prototyping different things,
Sure.
and without knowing what was exactly working in Oxenfree, it was hard to know, do we just nuke everything and start a brand new thing, or what do we do, right? So we had then, for the next 6 months, we put together another pitch that was not Afterparty. Totally different game. Went out, shopped it, had a publisher want to sign it, got really close, and then we ended up backing out of it. And it was primarily because that publisher wanted us to grow a lot and quickly and to do something for a lot longer. And I think in the beginning you go, wow, more money, more people, more. That sounds great. But I've been in the industry long enough to know that like it's just the more money, more problems. No, it's like it's really just like the more complex it gets, the more
complex
fucked up
it gets.
He worked on Eddie's favorite game of all time, 50 Cent Bulletproof.
Oh, let's go in on it. Of all time. What hat do you wear?
Yeah, what 50 Cent Bulletproof?
Which 50 Cent game is your favorite?
Was that? Yeah. What's your favorite 50
Blood in the
Cent
Sand or Bulletproof? Or the
Blood in the
PSP
Sand's
one?
Actually better.
I know.
Yeah.
Sadly, I have nothing to do with that game.
You only worked on Bulletproof.
I sat in a room and helped come up with the idea for Blood in the Sand, and then I quit in the middle of
Wow. Was Fiddy all right? Was he a nice enough guy to work with?
So. By the way, talk about a guy that you're like you want to learn
you and I
from.
Are both
period.
hip hop marks, dude. You and I are both rap.
Yes,
fanatics,
100%. So I was like directing Dre, like it was fucking weird. And 50, this is when he was like out shooting the PIMP video, so we're sitting there with him on set, and then it's like he comes back to Vivendi Universal Games at 2 a.m. and we're recording him with Terry Winter, wrote our game, who wrote created Boardwalk Empire, wrote Wolf of Wall Street, wrote the ridiculous story for Bulletproof. Yeah.
Did Dr. Dre give a shit, or was he like, I'll just do it as a favor, or was he like into it?
It was all tied up in like Interscope because like Jimmy Iovine was like, I want to, like, for every one of the artists over there was something going on. So it's like U2's got an iPod that's red now, and you know, like 50's gonna have a game and a movie, and Eminem
Dr.
already
Dre's
had his
about
movie.
To take over the world with headphones.
Massive like vision behind all of that, and 50 nicest dude ever. It was crazy,
so cool.
craziest work ethic.
That's so cool.
And he would have like. He'd be like, all right, you know, he would only eat like chicken and rice, super healthy shit, nothing bad. And then he would order, this is back when he was just investing in vitamin water. Remember, this is how he made like whatever, $700 million. Yeah. So he would make us buy cases of vitamin water. Nobody would touch it. Nobody in his crew would touch it. But we would buy like, 100 vitamin waters. So like, what the fuck is this? And that was it. He's just moving weight. Like, that's it. And so, yeah, it was fun. It was super fun to work on. Not a great game.
What's your favorite game that you've worked on that's not part of Night School? Do you have one? Or is this going to offend people?
No. This won't offend anybody. I'm
ours?
trying to think. I would say, you know what? Honestly, like the Crash GBA game. The
Crash Bandicoot game.
The Crash Bandicoot GBA game.
You worked on that. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Producer and did some design stuff on that too.
Amazing.
And that game, so this was this era when Naughty Dog was sort of parting ways with Universal, and they were off doing Jack and Daxter, and then there were a couple of sort of bad Crash spin-offs that were happening in that window. I worked on those as well. Wow. And then Vicarious Visions, who's a company that's you know those guys. They had just done the Tony Hawk game for GBA, which was bananas because they had 3D stuff in a GBA game, which nobody had seen before, right? So we worked with them. I flew out there. I basically just like lived out there and worked on that game for a while. I was like 23 at the time. 9/11 happened when I was there. During that, Crash GBA.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Jeez. It wasn't just a port, right? It was just
a brand new game.
Brand new game.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's one that the reason I mention it is not that I would say it's even the best, but it's more like it was the most fun, and it did really well, and it was reviewed well, and it was just like a good game.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Like the 50 game was amazing to work on. There's another game I worked on called Red Ninja that was like this crazy PS2 Japanese. I don't even know how to explain this game. You had like a wire that you could tether into people and then saw them in half when you ran around.
I remember this
game?
thing. Yeah,
so I did design work on that. Yeah, and then I got to live in Japan for a while to work on that. Wow. That was fucking crazy.
Wow.
So I've worked on a lot of like not great games, but had great experiences. Yeah.
Sure. So you get to the point where Oxenfree's a hit, and you have this company giving you more money, all this stuff they want to go big.
Like,
yes.
I don't
why would we?
And you have a kid right now,
and I have a kid, right?
So
we don't have another idea yet.
And why? Like that's hard to walk away from that. That's impossible
terrifying.
to walk away from.
It basically was. So we went, all right, we have a little bit more runway still. It's not like we were just rolling in it,
right.
but we were doing well. But we had enough runway where I was like, I've been the guy on the publisher side for so many years, and I know how games get killed and how frequently they get killed, and for stupid reasons. And I know
tip of 40 to Star Wars 13.
There it is, nighty night. How sad is that? Still,
that's the saddest. That
although the new
greatest.
one's supposed to be rad. Apparently, the
wait.
previews are really good for it. Everybody's talking about
Order.
it. Yeah,
Fallen Order, baby.
people started talking about it today. Said it's fucking amazing. They're allowed to talk about it.
I can't wait.
But you know, when I saw that we would go through such a cultural shift, such a everything would be a new milestone, everything would be considered like a prototype until the game basically ships. The idea of getting 2 years through a game and then having it killed for some other reason.
So you pulled away because you just don't want to be part of that machine. You wanted more in-house,
more
small
control.
You had been
more
in
control.
that machine. You'd spent most of your career in that machine.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was like, how?
So you were
do
never
we
working to
ensure
get
the
into that
safety?
machine.
No. And I'm still terrified of that machine.
Right.
Because I know.
So are you nervous that EA might knock on your door one day and go, look, here's the Godfather offer you can't refuse? We've had
a couple of those, which is super fortunate. That is insane feeling. And honestly, part of it is also when and where you are, because who knows, maybe in a year we're please come on.
We'll take whatever offer comes.
Remember that deal?
So it's so much about where you are in that moment, and where we were in that moment was I was like, we have enough ideas that we haven't really dove into yet, but that we could, that I think we could self-fund. And that was the main thing. I know that Oxenfree came out the way it did because nobody was fucking it up. It wasn't getting focus tested to death. We had to make decisions
that game never would have
quickly.
gone through the machine.
Never would have gone through the machine. Exactly. Which is the whole Toy Story 2.
Could you put a machine gun in this thing? Could you have them shoot up
we need multiplayer. We need this. We need that.
Right,
Toy Story 2, I don't know if you guys know the whole story behind that. So that movie was supposed to be a straight to VHS thing. Pixar had spent 2 years on it. They burned the whole thing to the ground and remade it all within 1 year. And usually those
Toy Story
2. Wow. And usually those movies take between 5 and 7 years to make.
Yes.
And so I was a PA on that movie, and I got to witness all this shit go down. And the movie that they were putting out, the first version of it that I worked on most of it, was kind of okay. It was fine, but it wasn't fucking Toy Story 2, this crazy existential amazing thing. And Toy Story 2 came out the way it did, which is one of Pixar's best movies, because there was no focus testing to death, because they had to be scrappy, because they had no time, because they had every limitation ever. And it was a brutal process to get it done.
Yeah, but they didn't get a chance to overthink what they were doing.
But nobody could overthink it. Right. So that's how you get scenes of Woody falling into the trash can, turning into cards, and all this weird shit that Disney's not going to greenlight that, right? But they're just we got to go. We got to go. And so I think for us, that was it.
Either. They don't see that worked, and they'll still be no.
Because the people aren't creative. See how much money they make. Okay, I know what's going on. I'll do that, and then they go ahead and say it. But they don't know. They're not part of the creative process, so they don't know.
That's the hardest part.
But that's in
more middle people in any setting, right? And so for us, it was mostly I'm not allergic to more money and more people and all those things. It's more I just want us to put stuff out. I want to keep a strong team together, and I can't even imagine hiring 4 times as many people as we have and that working well, and people not wanting to leave, and it just getting really fucking weird. So we walk away from it with nothing, and everybody is kind of what are you doing? And the agent that was repping us at the time was like,
I'm dropping you. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, he had spent a year shopping us and had gotten us so and he's such a great dude. And then he's like, what the fuck did you just do? And I'm like, we don't even have anything else, but we're not taking this deal. He's like, why? I'm like, we're just not going to do it. So we go away. We took a little side gig on the side. We made actually a mobile game based on the Mummy movie, the Tom Cruise one.
Right.
I shit you not.
Favorite
this
movie?
exists.
Well, I love the whole dark universe.
Oh yeah, it's still where the next one's going. Yeah. So
good.
By the way, so we saw that whole pitch. I know where that whole thing was going to go.
You do?
I know every one of what those movies would be. We'll talk about it offline.
Yes.
Maybe. No, we won't.
Please,
yeah, we will. So yeah,
come on. Yeah,
so
your secret's good with us.
So we did.
We'll close the window.
We'll change your voice. Go ahead. The voice change you're on right now.
Anyways, the Wolfman.
So that game, you can't even get it anymore, and they let us go super wild with it. We made the weirdest shit up. There's mass killings and cult murders and all this shit. We did an episodic thing.
You made it like Cthulhu.
It was, but yeah, it was actually,
Yeah.
Every angle you could think of, we crammed into
That's
this thing,
amazing.
right? So then a week before the movie comes out, they're like, well, we're averaging like 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. We're like way high, like 40, like no 4.
Four.
Like, oh my
That movie
God.
was
We're
awful.
so
Oh my God.
So then they were like, well, we don't want to support this game. Are you guys going to be offended? And we're like, no, just go ahead and pull it. so we did that. However,
But at least you
the
guys
game
got
was
paid.
cool. We got paid, and the
Yeah.
game, honestly, it's a pretty cool game.
Do you
It's
still
better
have
than the
it? Like,
movie.
could you
Yeah,
boot
yeah,
it
yeah.
up and play
It's
it?
not on my phone, but I'll show you.
That's
Yes, I
awesome.
can get it.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So that was a nice little bridge that helped us come up with Afterparty in between. Like while we did
Okay.
that,
What
we
year
came
was
up with
this?
that
Was it
concept. This is
2016,
2017?
17?
Yeah. And so then during 2017, the idea for Afterparty initially came from just my cousin and I talking about like bars in games are very underutilized. Like we like walking into Red Dead saloons and
Yeah.
walking into Skyrim and all these things. And
You go those
usually-
Baldur's Gate taverns where
Fucking love that shit. You just hang out
nothing
there.
happened. Yeah, you
nothing
could-
happens.
Yes.
At best, the animation starts wobbling, and
Right.
like that's it. And we were like, well, we can make a game out of that. And then we started thinking, well, what could that be? And Papers, Please had just come out. We were like, can we ape Papers, Please, but do like an adult humor version of that? Because it like Papers, Please is a single location that has a lot of people coming through, and they're all different walks of life. We're like,
Right.
oh, a bar is a good setting for that. Then we started prototyping like a bartender game, and then we were like, we don't want to do a bartender game. We want to go drink. Yeah. And then we're like, we want to fucking be the partiers, right? Like I'd rather do that than be the person just kind of sitting there. And
Yeah.
so then that just kept evolving. And then we realized like, oh my God, drinks could be an augment to the dialogue system from Oxenfree, where now instead of just the 3 options that you have, any drink that you order can wildly change your personality. So we can blow the script up and go, well, I want this drink to make me talk like a mobster or to talk like a pirate or to vomit my conscience up. And then all my dialogue choices are awful, like liar, liar, like it just opened it all up. And we're like, oh, this is the game. So, and even then we didn't know the hell part like that. Actually, I guess I should explain what the game is.
Yes,
We
so,
haven't
let's
really
do, so,
explained
so
that
now
yet.
coming out October 29th
Yes.
is Afterparty, which I can't fucking wait because I
Thanks,
love
man.
Oxenfree so much. All right, so go ahead.
So
what is
Afterparty,
Oxenfree about? What's Afterparty about?
Afterparty is 2 friends, Milo and Lola. They are just graduating college, and then they die a horrible death that you'll learn about in the game. And it's really fun. What were we talking about earlier with the parents thing? What was our gag? Parents down. Thank you.
Yeah, pencils down.
Parents
Pencils down. Parents down.
Parents down.
So,
main characters down.
main characters down. So they die and they find themselves in essentially the DMV of hell, like about to be processed. And you get a physical processing, you get this emotional and intellectual torture that's going to happen to you. And they find out in this processing line that around 6 o'clock, this is when the demons kind of quit and they go mingle with humans and they all kind of coexist. They go out, they drink, they party, they drown their sorrows, and then at 8 in the morning they go back to flaying each other and shooting wasps out of each other's rectums or whatever. And so our characters don't get processed at that moment. They have that night essentially to wander around before they get their eternal torture. And they find out at this bar that there is a loophole that if you can outdrink Satan, he will grant you re-entry to Earth. So the game is about getting invited to Satan's house party and partying your way out of hell by drinking him under the table.
How
Wow.
fucking great of an idea
Wow.
is this?
So different from Oxenfree.
Yes.
But it's like it's like a buddy comedy basically. So if Oxenfree was like the playable version of like Stand By Me meets Poltergeist, this is more Bill and Ted or the Edgar Wright movies or I don't know.
It does sound like Bill and
Beetlejuice a
Ted
little
meets
bit.
World's End, right? Like
It's basically that. Yeah.
That's fucking
and it's another one where it's like you've seen a lot of that in film, but like to explore that interactively is really interesting because now you can have a lot of agency over that. You can be halfway through this game and be like, I kind of like it in hell. Like maybe my mission to leave is gone, or maybe the two of you as best friends, that symbiotic relationship of these two best friends can change dramatically and you can be pulled apart, or maybe they stay super close together. And so all of that's the stuff where for us, it's not just about going like, let's just stick a story in a game because we are wannabe filmmakers who happen to be stuck in games. And it's more like, how do you make the gameplay interesting in a story? How do we have a story that's pliable enough that you'd want to play it instead of it just being a movie? So this is that. Like this is like, it's like super bad, but you choose where to go and it's through hell. And you've got cabbies driving through the river Styx, taking you to these various districts. You've got this personal demon that's torturing you the whole time.
How much demon
it's crazy.
research did y'all do?
It's fucking bananas.
Did you all go deep dive? Like,
yes.
Are all the demons
So
actual demons that people have written about? And
we've just kind of gone like, what if all religions were like kind of right and kind of wrong all at the same time? And we just got to pick and choose what we wanted to make fun of, when and where, because it had to fit like the story.
Yeah.
So both the demons as well as like there's weird shit where like 1,000 years ago you would go to hell for sewing 2 pieces of cloth together, right? So like there's that. So there's that guy that's next to like an actual child molester,
right?
And so in our hell you've got all these people like that have to deal with that, right? So it's a weird game. I'm curious. We haven't gotten a lot of blowback. There's one crazy video that I have to send you guys that is like this woman who is extremely upset about this game, who is picking it apart. And you'd think she'd go to the obvious stuff like, oh, partying with Satan. And
right.
all this shit. And she's like, look at this. Look at like the Freemason imagery on the side of the cab, the checkers. And I'm like, it's a fucking checker cab.
Enough.
Like there is no...
So you're Illuminati
We're not
and shit,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
exactly.
now you're part of the.
That's where she starts is the checkers.
You can tell
Start
us.
with the
you can tell us
drinking
what
in
you're
hell.
really doing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's true.
Come on.
Actually,
Just
All
let
right,
it-
see, we knew
Fair
it.
enough.
All right, I
we
knew.
knew it.
I knew.
We fucking knew it.
These are all signs. These are all free Masonic
Look,
signs.
You
I
can't
got
get
it.
that past this
Masonics.
man.
No, I know. I know what's going
you
on
can't
here.
get that. You can't get your
Lizard
secret
people and shit,
lizard
that's all
people
happening.
past
Yeah,
him.
man.
Can't
Yeah,
get
man.
past this guy.
the video is so entertaining. It's pretty well
it's
edited.
great.
Yeah, I love that lady, whatever her name is.
Now, one thing I wish we could have met. I wish I could have met you before you started working on the game. And maybe this is in the game, and don't spoil it. Don't say yes or no if it's something, whatever.
Yes.
But there should be a room in hell that's nothing but everyone's pets, just to make people feel sad. Like, guess where they all go? None of your pets go.
There's
to
no
heaven.
Rainbow Bridge?
Yeah, there's no Rainbow Bridge.
Oh.
All your dogs.
Just a water slide to hell.
Yeah,
There is a dog that
no.
you go up to. You could pet the dog, and then the line in there is, "Oh, I thought all dogs go to heaven,"
Right.
and then it's Satan's dog, which is just a giant
Benji?
hellhound thing, which is Benji. There are pets down there. There's a lot of
Wow,
we pretty
that's
early
great.
on acknowledged that any baby goes immediately to hell because you're a sociopath early on. So it's not like
You were taken for a reason that early.
right.
'Cause if
All
grew up-
babies have a fast track to hell.
You both have had children.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I've always heard from every parent that, like 0 to 2, they're just fucking dicks. They're
Yeah,
just
it's-
fucking selfish.
They're all it.
pricks. They're just
They're all
Yes.
it. They're all like, what I want it now. Give
Yeah,
it to me now.
they're
Like
just
they're all
selfish
just.
pricks.
Oh yeah,
They're all
No.
our president at the moment. That's
Yes.
all they are.
Well,
Trump.
actually, 3 is even worse.
3's the
because-
worst age.
Yeah, they're super dicks at 3 because 0 to 2, you're at
It's
least
not
like,
terrible
well,
twos.
you're shitting yourself by
Right.
mistake, whatever, fair enough. But 3, they're like, oh, I can negotiate.
Yeah.
That's when they're trying.
3 is
like,
worse.
Then they're
3's the
fucking
worst age
crazy.
by far.
3?
Oh,
It's not terrible
dude.
twos. It's
Yeah.
terrible threes.
Wow.
Because their whole personality is emerging. They push back on everything.
They test you
Yeah.
at like
All the
seatbelts.
time.
They test you on everything.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, the amount of shit
They would test you on
into,
gravity if they could.
Yeah. Toothbrushing. How's that working out for
Yeah.
you? I've had so many. There's toothpaste on the ceiling in the bathroom from me being like, like you just
Right.
cannot take it anymore because they can't. They're such bulldogs on negotiation.
Wow.
So yes, my daughter, but by 3 probably would have gone to hell. Now she's
Wow.
7.
She's an angel.
powered through. She's an angel.
Yeah, they're great. Actually, it's almost night and day from 3 to 4. Like 4.
Yes.
I loved 4.
4 is rad.
3
They're
was
super fun.
a nightmare.
I hated 3.
Gee, I gotta get ready for this.
I
so
hate it.
I
If
should
If you
Or
could
just
just, if
skip
you could
it,
just
adopt
get a
a
kid
4-year-old.
at 4
Yeah.
and go from there.
or just take a gig when they're 3.
There you go.
That takes
Fair
me away
enough.
for a year.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just let Andre
Go
deal
shoot
with
something.
That
Yeah.
Get Andre
shit.
pregnant. Go to the Peace Corps.
Right.
Do
The
3
Peace Corps,
years.
that'll
3
be
years
easier.
for Peace
A lot
Corps,
easier.
Come
this
back.
adorable
You
little
got
kid
a great 4-year-old.
who now's happy that they have a father.
Right.
No one heard that probably already got one. But I'm kidding, honey. So is this, I don't know if you can say this, how many endings do you think this potentially in Afterparty?
So, God, I want to tell you what they are because
No,
I
no.
know I won't, but
'Cause I wanna-
they're pretty drastically different. So I
Wow.
guess the way I would put it is like in Oxenfree you go through and the endings all branch out, but the story that you go through for the most part is the same, right? Like the stuff that you do in Oxenfree is sort of the same. Other than we realized that moment that you brought up earlier where like, do you go save Clarissa or Ren early on? That was a really interesting choice for people because it's not just what you say in the moment, but it's also like, where are you and what's happening to people when you're not there? That was a like mental space that we started to realize. That's really interesting to not have it all be, it's all about the player. And
the world's going on around you, where no matter where you are.
So if you go save, like when you went to save Clarissa, I would imagine you were also thinking about like, God damn it, Ren is like tripping balls in the forest over there.
Once I realized that everything just kept going.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes in games, you could just go wait and then you go back to this point. And it's like no time ever passed, right? But in this, I was like, fuck, this dude's dead, isn't he?
Right.
I was like, this fucking guy got eaten by a wolf or something. Like, fuck. Because he was a little out of it. He was already tripping. this guy's done. Like,
yeah.
I did start to worry about him a lot.
That, for us, became like the thing to kind of rally around with this, too, where it was like a night out, like the best nights out, you kind of don't know when and why and where it's going to happen. Yeah. Like, you like, I bump into this person. Oh, okay, here, let's exchange numbers. Oh, shit. And like 2 bars later, when I'm wasted, you're texting me, should I go over to that spot? And so the game is structured to feel like that, which is very different than Oxenfree. This is more like you can miss tons of stuff.
Yeah.
If I go to this bar and do this thing, I'm going to miss a ton of stuff.
Are there historical figures that you've put in hell?
I was about to say.
People of importance. Where you're like, you'll be like, holy shit, you're in hell?
Like,
we do have,
Abe Lincoln.
One of the bars, it's called the Dirty Hurdy Gurdy, and it is a sort of like joke version of like Bad Planet Hollywood or Hard Rock Cafe type of thing. Like most of the bars are more like a cool bar you'd want to go to.
Like Mother Teresa's in hell.
So instead of the musicians like pants being up there or whatever you usually have, there are actual just dead musicians in frames that are there. So we have people that are kind of like Michael Jackson, kind of like Prince,
but not
kind of like a variety of people. Yeah,
who they are.
So there's some of that. There's like more modern people like that, but there's like a lot of gags where most games I do think they shy away from like specifically calling people or brands out. We just throw it all in and kind of wait for them to
tell you
come
no
after us, right? So for the most part, we have lots of references to everything.
Could you put a Chick-fil-A in hell with nothing but dead gay people like to help push their agenda?
I'm sure they would
push the Chick-fil-A agenda.
You found out the game publisher that we were talking about at the beginning.
I knew it.
Now you know why we didn't sign the deal.
Look, I like the idea. We'll give you 45 mil, but nothing but gays are in hell. You understand me?
All
nothing but
gays.
This
is why we walked away from the deal.
Nah, I think we can do better.
I think we're all right. I think we're all right.
Wow, that's how. So, how many times are you sick of it? Or have you even played it 100% polished yet? Like, do you know every... Okay, because here's a fun thing about playing Gears with Tom.
Yeah.
Is Bissell, of course, who will be on the show soon to talk about Gears. But when Gears 5 came out, I was playing it, and he hits me up on Xbox on my headset. He goes, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, dude. He goes, here, add me to your game. So he joins... And within 5 minutes, I have all the best shit. He's like, here, this is where the best gun is. He's like, come over here. Okay, go over here. This is where the best. And it was awesome. I was like, oh, fuck.
Thanks, dude. Yeah,
it was great. Now, do you still get joy out of playing the game? Are you sick of it? Have you, like, have you played a polished version? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, is it all, like...
It's now it's all come together, right? Like the stage that we're in now is like things get fixed, and then we mentioned this earlier, 5 other things will get broken. So we're at this point where we're like, okay, this one thing gets fixed, and then we're like, why is this not working? It's not even clear why. So there's like little things like that. But in terms of being polished, we can play it and it feels great. This type of a game does get weird after a while because it's the same thing as like. You're not watching a movie 100 times and getting the same experience out of it, right?
It's changing constantly. Yeah.
And so for this, like, it was funny. On Oxenfree, before it shipped, we were like, is this game trash? Like, what the fuck is this? Because we had heard the same lines 8 billion times. We had walked through the same places. We had done a variety of new things, but we were still like, and then we started play testing it. And people would like set the controller down or leave the room or freak out. And we were like, oh, it's like we can scare you. It's working. Like this shit's actually going the way that we want. Or like this up people getting misty and shit. Yeah. So this one's actually more, I think, fun on repeat plays for a couple reasons. Sweet. Like even having been working on it, like one, the fact that it is like it's funny makes it just more like Oxenfree is pretty dark. Like
it's a dark
pretty
game.
bleak.
Yeah, it's bleak.
But this is like you're just having a good time.
Well, because what's the worst that can happen? You're already in hell.
You're in hell, exactly.
Right, so it's like, well, it can't get more depressing. You're already in hell. So
the one thing that I'm like really looking forward to people playing this game for is not the like romp through hell stuff, which is all really cool and we love, but we also go into as many dark places as Oxenfree did.
Nice.
We just haven't talked about that much. So there's
That's great.
the personal demon shit is really dark, and like you might be leaving a bar and you're like, all right, I'm on to my next quest, but then you walk into a recreation of Milo's 6th grade birthday and his father is there fucking telling him to throw the ball harder and going off on
do you find out why they went to hell? Like what caused them to go to hell?
Yes, I'm also very excited about that. I will say, without spoiling anything, that it is there is a specific thing.
Okay.
But it's not what the game like revolves around. So it is a nice hook, certainly, but it's not like, oh god, it's
you're not trying to redeem that point so you can get out of hell. It's like, okay, they did this during hell.
But there's a real thing. Like we don't. It's not. We don't.
Oh, that's great.
There's no cop out.
That was my next question. That was good. Like, why are they there?
You find out why you're in hell. You find out how you died. You find out all those things. But ultimately, it's not like about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Dude, that's. You mentioned in the bug thing how you said you fix one thing and find. So that would be like if your mic wasn't working, and then I adjust it, and then Eddie just disappears.
It's basically no joke.
Fuck?
That would be like the engineers would be excited if it was that like straightforward. Absolutely. Like good. We know what happened.
We know what caused it.
No, I mean it's like we were talking about this earlier. It like even when you're writing down a bug, the engineers are like, if you can't reproduce it 10 times, then it's useless to us. So it's not like, oh, I found a thing and your hat.
So it could just be a
fell off
one-time like
It
blip.
could be a one-time thing. So who knows how much time we should spend on it.
Wow.
Or if we can ever reproduce it at all. Like there's never been a game that is shipped that is not buggy. It's just that the big ones have teams of hundreds of QA people on them. Whereas our studio, we hire a QA team for a few months that's small, 3 or 4 people. We have the people that are finishing the game a little bit earlier roll onto QA and they test it. All that shit is cool, but at the end of the day, it's going to be hammered on by thousands of people October 29th, and that's scary.
That's when you find out.
That's when you find out.
Wow. Fuck.
And then you got to go through and make all the fucking
more
the
fixes
patches and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That they can download.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It's pretty. It's like it's not done even when it's done,
right?
And people say that usually about like, oh, no art is done until you. But it literally isn't.
That's
done
literally
for a
not
while.
done. You're literally your testing is rolling it out.
Still going on.
So then,
right.
how the fuck did Nintendo put out Super Mario World? Right?
No
like
shit.
Back then,
right.
when
No
there was
updates.
no updates. You can't. That cartridge just shipped as is, and that was. So I guess is that why Nintendo got so legendary, because they shipped out great games
that
as
was
is?
never fucking buggy.
Because there was a lot of crap back then. A
Right.
lot of shitty games came out for the NES and the Super Nintendo and Genesis and the Master System, but then you had the ones like Zelda and Sonic and Mario and Metroid.
Perfect.
Where you're like, this is so they must have spent years.
They QA'd the shit out of it,
Right.
yeah, and they spent a really long time. And there was just less variables at play, right?
Yeah, it was a simpler game.
So much simpler, right?
Yeah.
That's the stuff where we are like, oh god, like one decision we made 2 years ago is a nightmare for the team now, because it's like, okay, we want a game that has 30 characters walking around on screen. Oh Jesus! So these characters now, they have to hold their props correctly, they have to drink correctly, they have to not bump into each other, they have to not the amount of stuff that we have of characters walking into the camera and walking through each other, and their drinks coming out of their elbows and them falling over and them glitching out, just background shit where we're like, why did we put this in a bar at all? Like, why did we?
So have you played the Friday the 13th game that Elphonic?
No, I've heard it's so good.
Oh my god,
I've heard it's so fun.
You see that?
Yeah,
dude.
It looks amazing.
Okay, so here's I've showed you ever seen
Yes,
it?
yes.
So an idea I had for the Predator game, and for the Friday 13th game, and if I could talk to someone from Elphonic, I know there's some licensing things, so they can't even update it anymore. I think
really
they somehow lost the rights, but it still exists. They just put it out on Switch, and it looks great, plays great. But here was my idea. So you know the premise, right?
Somebody plays as Jason, everybody else plays
camp
as
counselors,
yeah.
and you have to just evade him for 20 minutes. You have 20 minutes to escape, or he kills you. And you have a lot of different methods. You can call the cops, and they show up pretty quick, and you can run. You can fix a car or a boat and hope that you can get away before he catches it. You could just hide for 20 minutes, hope you're lucky. You can even call Tommy Jarvis. If someone dies, they can be resurrected, and they come back as Tommy, and
great.
You can kill him. It's hard to ship, but you can actually kill Jason if you do enough things. It's a lot of fun. But I thought, you gain XP for everything you do so you can level up, and then so your camp counselors or Jason can do a lot more shit the next time you play as him, right?
Right.
And I thought, wouldn't the best thing be a fuck minigame? Because that's
when they always die.
That's what. So if two characters, guy, girl, girl, whatever, if they're in a cabin together hiding, you have the option to fuck each other.
A little hot coffee.
Right, and if you can fuck before. If you can successfully fuck before Jason, and when you fuck, he's immediately alerted.
He knows.
Right? He knows where you are, and he zeroes it. And if you're lucky enough that he's far enough away, and you can fuck,
and you can press that button as fast as you can.
Wait, what do you get? This is great. What happens then?
A ton of XP. He might still kill you, but if you can at least fuck before he kills you and complete it, you get a shit ton of XP.
Yes.
And I told Tom that, and he was like, "That's
it's amazing."
But he goes, you have no idea how hard it is just to make two video game characters high five each other.
Oh yeah,
two
characters interacting in any way,
and physical interaction is so fucking hard. You know what I mean? Like
there's a part in the game where we do the classic like kids get on top of each other overcoat shit to sneak into a demons only bar.
Nice.
So we put on some weird shit. You put on the overcoat. That was the hardest thing, like to get the two characters to do that. And ultimately we were like, all right, let's just put them behind a thing. And then they'll come back out wearing the overcoat, and it's a new model. It's just a new character. But forever, it was like, how do we... And there are animations of them interacting. We have some of that, but that is super hard. Even just fucking characters sitting on these stools took forever to get their butts to line up and not have them flying all over the place.
Amazing.
That's the stuff that's like the hardest stuff.
So
two characters interacting. So fucking is going to be really hard.
That'd be so hard.
Really hard.
That'd be so hard. Yeah, but they still should do it.
Yeah. Do it.
They should totally. They should do it in Predator.
Why
not? They should
do it in everything.
Everything. In Predator.
Fucking
Pokemon. You two Pokemon fuck. You get bonuses. They can fuck each other. Like, oh, you made an electric and a mine fuck each other? That's crazy. Your psychic Pokemon fucked your electric one. Wow. This guy's a hell of a trainer.
Call Jerry, Nintendo.
I gotcha, right?
Call him.
I gotcha. I wonder if here's something I've always thought Pokemon should do is put like a Michael Vick of Pokemon. Some guy that just has like a Pikachu rape pole. You know what I mean?
Man.
Drowning Pikachu.
Damn.
Just taking Pichus and drowning them when they don't fight right. Like
I'm into it.
Fucking Michael Vick of Pokemon.
Wow.
That's what they need.
Could you imagine?
I feel like it's inferred like they're already... when I see any of those trainers, I'm like, you guys are fucking twisted.
You're a sick motherfucker doing this. Man, so, all right. Is there any... Okay, we are 2 weeks away, I think.
Or like a week and a half
away.
So
what's it dropping on first? Steam and Xbox?
So it's Epic Game Store, Xbox, and PS4.
All
Switch
right.
will be a little bit later.
Okay.
This is the first time we've launched that many things at once, which is also insane because you're like juggling all the different platforms and getting approved on them, and it's crazy.
Look, I'm not trying to brag, but I have a PS4 and an Xbox. So
that's good. Which one do you want to play it on?
Is it a coin flip?
Is that...
pretty much,
let me
right?
think, and this is not me being precious or like kind to either platform. It's genuinely a coin flip.
Okay, cool.
It's the exact same game on everything.
Cool,
yeah, there's nothing better.
Just depends on what controller you prefer at this point, right?
Yes.
Like how,
yes.
All right, dude, I can't wait to get this game, dude.
Thanks, brother.
Now, what are you most like at this point? Are you just okay? Like we joked, pencils down. I can't. I have to just. It exists.
Yes.
I have to just let it exist because it's comics. It's hard for me if I tell a joke that was on my hour special. I don't want to tell it anymore, and I'll still find myself coming up with tags for it. I'm like, nope, I just got to walk away. Have there ever been a moment like with Oxenfree or with Afterparty where it's already past that point, and you're like, man, wouldn't that be cool if we did X, Y, or Z? And
absolutely.
So is that just if everything goes well, save it for the sequel? Is that kind of what happens?
For Oxenfree, we kind of did that. What we did was game comes out, PC, Xbox, and then before the PS4 version, we did a New Game Plus mode.
Right.
The New Game Plus mode was like, if you start over, now we are, spoiler alert, basically you're stuck in a multiverse. And the first time that you play through the game, it's more like, let's just get the fuck off this island alive. And the second time you start the game, you realize there are many Alexes and there are many versions of this timeline based on the weird shit in the game. And the first time you play through, it's like you're listening to the radio on the boat and you hear Ren's band playing on the local station. But the second time on the radio, you hear Alex saying, do not come to this island. And you now are playing as another Alex trying to warn all future Alexes from ever coming to that island.
That's so
it's
great.
a new game, and that is
God,
like the
that's
real
so
like
badass.
version of the story, basically.
So
right?
really, the new game plus is
the whole thing.
Fuck,
Yeah,
I gotta play it
and
again.
we wanted all that shit in there the first time,
Yeah.
and then we just didn't have time to get it in, and so that was, I think, the biggest one for that.
Is there going to
Wow.
be DLC for Afterparty, or is that going to be what's out is out?
We want DLC, but we want there to be a reason. So, like
Right,
in Oxenfree, the reason was like, well, it's this
The new
crazy
game
game,
plus.
and it like
Right.
lends itself to that.
Right.
For Afterparty, we don't know that reason yet. Like,
Right.
it's not like, well, there's another island that you go party on, because that's like,
Well, there are
I don't
7
know.
levels of hell.
That's true. That is true.
Could you do a
That is
sequel,
true.
or maybe a DLC where two
Here we go.
characters do
The two
everything they can
Corys?
to get out of heaven? Yeah, where they're
Yeah, like, how
"Dude,
the fuck
this
are we
is
in
fucking
heaven?"
Lame as shit. Yeah, I was a serial killer.
We do
What am I
sort of
And
doing?
they just spend the whole
that-
time trying to find drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, like how do we fucking get wasted to get the fuck out of
We
here?
do make fun of heaven a lot too.
Oh,
So,
that's great.
yeah, I
That's
mean
great.
that's like this one felt so good once we landed on the hell thing, because we were like, oh, this now we're just making an R-rated Pixar movie,
Yes.
and we can borrow from all of this ridiculous stuff.
Yeah.
So I think, if anything, yeah, we would do DLC for it, but there has to be a reason.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like maybe you play as Satan, or maybe I don't know. There's
Right,
got to be a
right,
real
right.
reason
Yeah,
to do it. We
yeah.
don't know that reason yet. So
All
I
right,
don't know.
cool.
Game does well, we'll do it.
Fucking A, man. And
Yeah,
I'm
man.
sure it'll do well. Go pick it up October 29th. Thank you so much, dude.
Thank
For doing
you.
the show.
Thank
want
you.
to stick around and do a quick video with us,
Let's
too?
do it.
All
Love
right,
to.
fucking A, man. So let me play the music. We have a theme song that I wrote on a little iPad.
Nice.
Yeah.
You can do it on the new analog coming soon.
Dude.
Yeah.
If Andrea lets me buy it, that thing, she might kill me, but I want to get that.
You got to get
So-
it. Did you see it?
No.
So analog. Are we still rolling, or do we need
Yeah,
to?
fuck
Okay,
it,
great.
go.
So
the people who made my Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
yes, they are making a handheld that plays every Game
Boy, Game Boy Advance,
but Game
Game
Gear,
Gear,
all this shit.
Atari
For
Lynx,
real?
Yes.
$200.
Because my original Game Boy I have, because I still play my original Game Boy, it just stopped working.
Okay, wait till 2020 to replace
Here,
it.
No, I
$200.
can't wait.
$200.
I'm going to kill myself
Screen
tomorrow.
looks
I can't.
unbelievable. I'm gonna get. I must
I can't.
play
I can't wait.
green
Eddie.
unbacklit Tetris.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, it looks amazing. But there's also a whole music production suite inside of it too, so you can make beats and play.
Like, can you make 8-bit beats?
Yeah.
Yeah, it all sounds like game. It's amazing.
It's gonna be the best.
Yeah. Thank
right.
you all
You know,
again. Please.
Christmas presents each other
Christmas-
next year.
There it is.
That's how we do it.
We did it. Real quick before we say goodbye, this is the first ramble where we don't cut it right after the song. Where can all the people find Night School games? Where Twitter? What's
Night
the social
School
media?
is at Night Schoolers.
Okay.
It's NIGHTSCHOOLERS, right?
Is it Night
Yeah, that's
Schoolers
right.
or Night School?
No, we're Night School Studio, but Twitter we're just Night
Night Schoolers.
Schoolers.
Okay.
And do you have an intern program for 10-year-old boys?
Absolutely not.
Ah, shit.
I'm
So
checking.
sorry, but visits are welcome.
Because
I
my
gotta
son,
bring-
my
swing
son
by.
wants to be a gamer.
Man,
my-
or a game
he is
program-
a gamer.
a game
but
programmer.
Bring him by. Seriously, we're in
When my-
Glendale.
he
We're
would
right
love
around the
to.
corner. That would be incredible.
My little
Yeah.
nephew, who's my godson, who's coding as we speak, probably. I got to bring him next time he
Yeah.
visits
Have
LA.
to.
Colton's
Is
the
this-
same way.
Yeah.
It's I mean, it's not the most exciting thing to
Stop.
walk into.
They're
but it's
right
pretty
across
fun.
the street from where the Beastie Boys recorded fucking Check Your Head.
Oh.
That's facts. It's actually.
See, I can
literally
hang out
like a
there,
block
and then I'll
away.
send Colton over.
Right. Eddie and I could
Do
just
that.
sit there and beatbox.
We can recreate the
Check Your
video
Head studio.
ourselves.
We could be the new Beastie Boys.
We are the new
We
Beastie
are.
Boys. What do you
Metal.
mean?
Holy shit, we did it. All right, everybody, check out Sean Krankel's new game, Afterparty, which comes out October 29th from Night School Games. Follow him on Twitter. Afterparty has a Twitter page, right?
Yes,
And-
at
and the-
Afterparty Game.
All right.
And I'm at Sean Krankel.
There you go.
And the bump you're going to get after this podcast
Forget
drops.
it. Forget it.
Colossal.
You thought
You're
that. You thought that.
colossal.
if
We're
you
going to
like-
move dozens of games.
Yes,
Fortnite level.
Fortnite, watch the fuck out. There's
Watch your
there's
back.
a new daddy in town because nobody's gotten the Ramble push.
You get the Ramble, the Ramble
The
bump.
Ramble
The
push.
Ramble bump.
It's the Ramble bump.
That changes everything.
Thanks for the RB, guys.
All right, we'll see you next time. Be good, everybody. Thanks for checking us out. Bye bye.